Hello and welcome everyone. So the parks are still closed currently. However, that doesn't mean that we can't jump back and time travel a little bit. And luckily I still have tons of home videos from 20 years ago when I was in Disney World. Last time we took a look at me in Epcot in 2000. The continuation now is Magic Kingdom and a little bit of Hollywood Studios. So I figured let's jump in, take a look at how awkward I was as a kid, how awkward I still am as a person, and you can see how far back it's been, but also take a look at how Disney has changed and how it hasn't changed. So come along with me, let's roll the videotape. And starting out, this does start very abrupt. So the first footage at the Magic Kingdom is us on the Jungle Cruise. Take it away.
The only danger we have floods and monsoons and earthquakes. Your water. Oh my gosh, it's wonderful! Everybody did it! Playing out a mid-flight like that, can you imagine what you can do? A boat this time? Right there. You know what? Wiggle your ears. Everybody wiggle your ears. That makes them friendly. Wiggle your ears. That makes them friendly.
Plenty of.
Oh, speaking of friendly, the last time I was up here, those natives were very unhappy. And the meadows, that's it, that's our boat. I told my old boat I was 100% of it for these. Come over there on that boat. What a bonehead. Oh, wow, everybody, look at this. See, we stumbled upon the ancient bathing grounds of the Asian elephant. The Asian elephant is a cousin to the African elephant. He's got the smaller ears and aluminum. Look, you look up there, you see all these stuff, don't put them on go. That's a little squirt down below. Oh, look at you having fun in the water. The old elephant. Right here. Uh-oh. Hold on, everybody. Hold on. Whoa.
And then there's me, standing as awkward as ever as Mr. Smee and Captain Hook. I do wish I could still meet Captain Hook though, because like I have such a love for him now. He's a true hero of Peter Pan. Even back then, everything was crazy crowded, and this was in the middle of July in 2000. I have no idea what my dad was doing. I don't know what he was looking for when he was shooting this footage. But here's a tour of the riverboat with some really shaky, jerky footage. I am sorry. I did some research on this parade because I really didn't remember anything about it. It was the Magical Moments Parade, but it was also known as Remember the Magic, as you can tell from the song. And it ran from 1996 until 2001. So I saw it right before the last year that it ran. And the really cool thing that I want to point out is that the float is still used today in the Christmas parade. All the princesses are on that. So I think that's really cool that they still reused it. And it lasted over 20 years. It's a beautiful float. I just feel like this music is very repetitive. I do really appreciate Festival of Fantasy because of how flawlessly they've been able to transition from float to float Whereas you can see here, it kind of stops and then restarts again. Clearly we're at Chef Mickey's now, meeting some characters.
Thank you. Thanks.
It's nice to see how subtly all the costumes have changed over the last 20 years. Donald doesn't look the same as he did. He looks a little bit different. Chip and Dale look a tiny bit different. Goofy still looks pretty much the same though, honestly. I'm just worried about getting his autograph and I'm ready to leave. Clearly, I don't think I was that much of a Goofy fan. I don't know if this is still a thing at Chef Mickey's, but you could ice your own cupcakes by dipping them into all the icing. I clearly don't remember doing this, but I guess I dipped it in strawberry and chocolate icing and then the sprinkles. And then all of a sudden, transitional shot again on the top of Bay Lake Tower. I love that the Dapper Dans still are performing the same stuff and they still use the same instruments. It's really cool. I don't know what it is about the song, but I just get crazy nostalgic over it. This is back when it was the Main Street Electrical Parade. And I've seen this parade so many times because it has rerun so many years. So clearly this was my first time seeing it back in 2000. But then they had it running again in 2011, in 2013, and 2014 when I did my program. So I'm very familiar with it, but it's still such a cool looking parade, and it doesn't do justice on camera. The lights are beautiful. And I do love how the characters can interact with you compared to other parades. I know characters can wave and everything, but these have characters that actually talk to you.
What are you doing? That's Manny with Jim right on his watch, and now we can't tell time. Of course, we better learn how to tell time with that clear heart. It'll be off with his head if he's late. Not very nice to the scene, but you know,
The precursor to the Maleficent Dragon, everyone. This is also the first fireworks show they've done since the beginning of Magic Kingdom's opening in Walt Disney World. So this is called Fantasy in the Sky. Obviously it doesn't play anymore, but I do believe they bring it out for special occasions.
A long time ago, in a place called Neverland, there lived a sparkling spirit named Tinkerbell. Legend has it that to this time, Tinkerbell will soar high above the Magic Kingdom and light our fantasy in the sky.
I honestly admire and love that they've had Tinkerbell flying out of the castle from the beginning. It's very special and it's very sweet, and we all get choked up every time we watch it. The unfortunate thing too is that you can see that people did not shut up even back then during fireworks performances, and I do wish that there would be better theme park etiquette in place, because it does take away from the show. And you can tell that this show is very simple. This is before Wishes and Happily Ever After, so there wasn't the massive projections on. It was just a simple music and fireworks. But I really do love the simplicity of it, and it's just great to watch. And then they have my ghosties on the castle, and I love that they still had some sort of projection back before they did Wishes and Happily Ever After. I remember jumping on Buzz Lightyear. The best thing about this footage you're going to soon see is how competitive I was as a child, as a gamer, and how I still am a competitive gamer. But I sucked back then at this game, and I still do. And then boom, we're at Hollywood Studios. It is the next day. Little did I know that I would become obsessed with horror films and the B horror films, and that being the Fear restaurant and Disney property, one of them at least. I miss the streets of America. Rip the streets of America. It was one of the best locations to just hang out, and I know it was just a facade and Star Wars Land is cool, but like we had awesome entertainment. Like honestly, that's what I really miss, not just here but in general over the theme parks in Disney World. And I know that Disneyland still has a lot more entertainment than we do, but like I just love going back and watching this. This looks like it would have been an amazing show. I really am glad that we do have the footage to appreciate what the park used to be, because I do miss it, and I know that we have to make room for the future and for all the new up and coming movies and change that people want to be in the movies instead of learning about it. But I still do miss the old message of the park that you could explore and you got so much history and learning, and it was really true edutainment, and that was a big part of the inspiration that I loved going there, because I got to get behind the scenes of film, and it's my industry that I have always been obsessed with and admired. So I'll always be bitter about it, but I do love the new stuff that they're coming about. But there will always be a place in my heart for the past and how the park used to be. And then we have our Honey, I Shrunk the Kids playset, which I assume was a fun time. I don't remember anything about it. Clearly I enjoyed the slide. If I have a video of me going on it about 50 times. And we are back, meeting more characters and still not knowing what to do with them. It was cute that they had their little trailers though. This was a pre-era to the Stormtroopers.
Son, looks like you went a little bit too far with the military haircut. Easy on the razor next time. Looking good.
I was obsessed with Hercules and Meg, and I still am, and it's one of my favorite movies, and I would love to be able to meet them again. RIP! Great movie! Take this moment and admire and appreciate the greatness of what was this ride and how historically amazing it was for teaching us about the history of films. I also really do miss this backlot tour. I mean, I could go into an entire rant about it, and I won't do that, but I'm glad we have the footage to appreciate the past and how Hollywood Studios used to be a movie-making park.
Used many of the Indiana Jones films. That's from our own Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular. Now, we have one thing all four of these aircraft have in common is that they were never ever meant to fly. All their engines are made out of styrofoam.
I also do love, though, that my dad decided to take all the video of the airplanes because he's a fan of airplanes. So this is the only footage we have of this tour besides the disaster scene that's coming up next.
Getting that truck in here, we couldn't just drive it across the ravine, so it had to be hoisted over the canyon walls and lowered into place using a larger crane. And you'll notice that our canyon here is a bit wet. Well, one of the effects they've been testing out here is a rain sequence. You know, you can't sit around and wait for Mother Nature to provide you with the weather, especially on a beautiful day like today is. Now, when the director yells action, the rain has got to fall right on cue. So to do this, we place water spouts overhead outside of camera range and nozzles on the ends of the spouts so water outward. And wow, that does give this rain a much more natural look. But you know, they don't usually turn this rain on. Well, not unless they're getting ready to shoot, because that can't be happening. That's why we delayed out there. I tell you what, you'll notice it's only raining on the front half of the canyon. Well, that's because, wait a minute, phase one. Guys, we've got a shuttle full of people down here. Oh, great, I don't think you can hear me. Everybody hold on tight. It looks like we're going to be extras for this shot.
And I am going to pause that there for today. Hopefully y'all all enjoyed that. There will be more episodes coming soon. This is still from my first trip ever to Disney. And we still have a couple more of the parks to explore, as well as a whole other year of vacation footage. So until then, I hope you guys have a magical day, and I will see you real soon.